Hello everyone. In this video, I will walk you through Kubectl Get Events and I will show you some examples of how to use Kubectl Get Events with pods and deployments. So let's get started. So I will start with the namespace events demo ns. I'll create this particular namespace. So namespace has been created. Now I will show you the default behavior. So when we do Kubectl Get Events, we will see all the events that has occurred in this particular cluster. So this is in the default namespace because I have not specified any namespace. Okay, now I will do for all namespace. So if I pass the flag -a, it will be like for all namespace, get me the events. So I just want to make sure that the difference is clear, that Kubectl Get Events is namespace specific. Okay, now moving on. Now I will show you like if I within my namespace, if I create a deployment, how does the event looks like. So in this command, I am creating a deployment called nginx deploy image in nginx and 3 replicas. So my deployment has been created. So I just want to make sure that, like for example, let's say you have multiple deployment, just make sure you check how many deployments are there. So within that namespace, I am saying get me the deployment, and it will show me there is only one deployment which is running at the moment. And I will check the pods. So within that namespace, I have 3 pods running because I specified replicas equal to 3. Okay. Now for the deployment. So for the deployment, we can specify something like this: kubectl -n for the namespace, then the name of the namespace, get events, and this is the format, like field selector, and after field selector we specify the field name. So you may have to memorize it a little bit. Involved object dot kind equal to deployment. So I'm saying within this namespace, get me the events for the deployment. Since in this case there is only one deployment, it will get me all the events for this particular deployment, the events that has happened. So I have redirected that to a, let's say, a log file or events file or something, and then I can just cat it out. So there is only one event. So this is just a slightly more like example, elaborate example. Like you can pass in multiple fields. So I am saying kind equal to deployment, which was exactly same as previous one, but I am adding one more field selector, involved object dot name, and I am passing exact name of my deployment, nginx -deploy. This will be exactly same, but I just want to make this point clear that name of the object, if it's unique across your cluster, it wouldn't matter, like within that namespace or across all namespace. So this will also redirect to another file. So the content will be exactly same because the second example and first example, because since there is only one deployment. Okay, so that's out of the way. So let's see for the pods. So I'm saying get events for all pods from all deployments, but in this case I have only one. So because I have specified namespace $n and get events, same thing, field selector, involved object dot kind. So notice the difference. This is dot kind and I'm saying pod. Since I have 3 pods, it will give me all events for all 3 pods. So it has redirected to pod events or a log file, and I can see all the events for all 3 pods. Right. Now let's say if you want to see the events for only specific pod, then you will have to change the query for a specific pod. So this is slightly different. Involved object dot name and the name of the object. So if it's unique across your cluster, then you don't have to say the kind. So I'll just replace this with my pod name, and to get the pod name I have to scroll up a bit. So I'll just take second one, paste it over here. So that has given me events specific to that pod, and I can just cat it out. So as you can see the difference. This has got 4-5 lines specific to that pod, and the above one has for the all pods. So you can just remember, if the scenario is asking you for a single pod or all pod, which command to use. If it's a single pod, specify the exact pod name. If it's all pod, you can just say involved object.kind equal to pod. So this is last command. This is exactly same as previous one, because the object name is unique, so this wouldn't make any difference. So I'll just replace that with the pod name. So you will see the output is exactly the same. Involved object.kind will not change, doesn't matter here in this case. So that's all. Just do a cleanup. So you can delete the deployment, and you can delete the namespace if you want. So that's all there I wanted to cover for Kubectl Get Events. Thanks for watching. Bye.